This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys, my name is LaDonna Cavanis and I am an instructor here at Ultimate Medical Academy. Today we're going to be reviewing medical terms, so let's get started. So before we start learning specific medical terms for various systems of the body, we need to know the word root that identifies the major organ in the body, right? Body systems have many different systems that the medical assistant should be, or medical coder or medical biller should be familiar with for charting, medical record keeping, and patient education. These different body systems include the skeletal, the nervous system, the musculoskeletal, respiratory, endocrine, immune system, cardiovascular system, circulatory system, urinary system, integumentary system, reproductive system, and the digestive system. Now let's review some of these systems. Body system number one, the skeletal system. The skeletal system is like the framework of the body that is held together by ligaments, tendons, and cartilage. The skeleton helps human moves, and it involves the production of blood cells and storage of calcium in the body. Disorders of the skeleton systems continue. So here's an example of a disease of the musculoskeletal system, osteoporosis. This disorder is prevalent in older people. The bone loss of calcium and becomes thinner, resulting in the loss of bone and tissue. All right, let's talk about the nervous system. The nervous system is a network of nerve cells and fibers that transmit nerves and impulses throughout the body. This system is made up of the brain, spinal cord, and the nerves. Nerves are cylindrical bundles of fiber that start in the brain and the central spinal and branch out in different parts of the body. Here's some examples of different nervous system disorder. The first one is epilepsy. This disorder results in abnormal electrical discharges from the brain cells, causing seizures. The second one is Parkinson disease. Parkinson is a progressive nerve disease that affects movement in the body. And a lot of older people are normally diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Let's look at the last one, the next one, multiple sclerosis, MS. The productive lining of the nerves is attacked by the body's immune system. Okay, diseases of the nervous system continue. This is a disease called ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. It's a motor neuron disease which weakens the muscles and progressively affects physical function. The next one is Huntington disease. This is an inherited condition, so this one is inherited, that causes the nerve cells in the brain to degenerate. And the next one is Alzheimer's disease. This disorder impacts mental function and memory, and this is another classic disease in older people. All right, so let's talk about the musculoskeletal system. The musculoskeletal system aids in movement, blood flow, and other bodily functions. The muscular system is made up of 3 different types of muscles. Skeletal muscles are connected to bone and aid in voluntary movement. Smooth muscles are found inside organs and help to move substances through the organ. Cardiac muscles are found in the heart and help pump blood. Disorders of the musculoskeletal system, poliomyelitis, results in inflammation of progressive weakening of the skeletal muscles. All right, let's talk about body system number 4, the respiratory system. The respiratory system brings oxygen into the body and expels carbon dioxide. This system is made up of airway, the lung, and the different muscle of muscles of the respiration. Diseases and disorders of the respiratory system consist of, this is a common one, influenza or the flu. It's a contagious respiratory illness caused by the influenza virus that affects the nose, throat, and lung. And here's another classic respiratory system disorder, pneumonia, and it's infection of the lungs. Diseases and disorders of the respiratory system continue. Here's another classic respiratory disease, asthma. This results in constriction of the lung airway, causing cough, wheezing, chest tightness, or shortness of breath. Here's another one, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. COPD is a progressive disease that makes it increasingly difficult for a person to breathe. And we're familiar with this one, COVID-19, also known as coronavirus. It attacks the lungs and causes upper respiratory tract illnesses. Okay, body system number 5, the endocrine system. The endocrine system is a collection of glands that secrete hormones into the circulatory system to be delivered to the body's vital organs. This system regulates metabolism, growth, development, tissue function, sexual function, reproduction, sleep, and mood. Here's some examples of diseases or conditions of the endocrine system. So diabetes, it's a big one. This condition affects the body whereby it does not properly process glucose due to lack of insulin in the bodies or the body's inability to produce insulin. Hypoglycemia, it's low blood sugar, and it occurs when the glucose level in the blood drops below normal levels. And here's another one, hypothyroidism. It's a condition where the thyroid gland does not produce enough thyroid hormones to meet the body's needs. Okay, the immune system. The immune system is the body's defense against bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens. This system includes the lymph nodes, the spleen, bone marrow, lymphocytes, thymus gland, and leukocytes. Here's some examples of diseases and disorders of the immune system. So here's allergic rhinitis. This disease results in an allergic response causing itchy, watery eyes and sneezing. Here's another one, lupus. Lupus is an inflammatory disease caused by the immune system's attacking its own tissue. The next one is rheumatoid arthritis, also known as RA. It's a chronic inflammatory disease affecting the body's joints, most commonly in the hands and feet. All right, let's talk about the cardiovascular / circulatory system. So when you hear about the cardiovascular system, it speaks synonymously in regards to the circulatory system. The circulatory system permits blood to circulate and transport nutrient, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hormones, and blood cells. It also helps fight disease, stabilizes temperature and pH, and maintains homeostasis. All right, diseases and disorders of the circulatory system. So the first one we're going to talk about is the cardiovascular disease. This disease comprises heart condition that includes diseased vessels, structural problems, and blood clots. Here's another one, arteriosclerosis. It's fatty deposits in the arteries causing the walls to stiffen and thicken, which can restrict blood flow. Stroke. It's characterized by blockage of blood vessels to the brain. And here's a very common circulatory system disorder, hypertension. It's high blood pressure that causes the heart to work harder. All right, diseases and disorders of the circulatory system continue. So let's talk about aortic aneurysm. This is a condition in which the aorta is damaged and starts to bulge or tear, causing severe internal bleeding. Peripheral arterial disease, or PAD, it's the narrowing or blockage of an artery. Chronic venous insufficiency, CVI. CVI, it's a superficial, it attacks the superficial veins of the lower extremity. It causes those veins in the extremities to reflux. All right, body system number 9, the urinary system. The urinary system helps eliminate waste, produces products from the body. This system includes the kidneys, ureters, bladder, sphincter muscles, and the urethra. Diseases of the urinary system. Kidney disease. This is a disease of the kidneys where they are damaged and they can't filter blood properly. Kidney disease can cause waste to build up in the body, leading to sepsis. And the next one is urinary tract infection, or UTI. UTIs are generally caused by bacteria in the urinary tract system. All right, diseases of the urinary system continues. Interstitial cystitis, IC, is a chronic bladder condition that causes bladder pressure and pain. The next one is prostatitis. It's swelling of the prostate gland, often caused by advanced age. So more so, it affects the elderly. And kidney stones. These are stones found in the urinary tract, or they form in the urinary tract. All right, body system number 10, the integumentary system. The integumentary system is an origin system that protects the body from damage, loss of water, or abrasions from outside. The system includes human skin, hair, and the nails. All right, here's some diseases and conditions of the integumentary system. Acne is the one that you should be very familiar with. It's a disorder of the hair and oil gland, presenting itself as red bumps on the face, chest, or the back. The next one is warts. Warts are bumps caused by viral infection, most commonly on the hands and feet. The next one is eczema. And this is a condition that presents red, itchy, flaking skin. Eczema is extremely dry skin. And vertigo, with this condition, there is loss of skin color that appears to be very, very blotchy. All right. And here's some examples of diseases or conditions of the skin. Melanocytic nevus. This is a usual non-cancerous disorder of the pigment producing skin cells, commonly called a birthmark or a mole. Okay. The next one is basal cell carcinoma. With this type of cancer, this is a cancer. So when we talk about carcinoma, we're talking malignancy. The skin has a slight pearl color, which rarely spreads to other parts of the body, but must be treated. Squamous cell carcinoma, here's that term again, carcinoma. When we talk about carcinomas, we're talking about malignancies. This skin cancer shows as a rough surface skin colored lesion, which causes death in about 10% of affected patients. And here's another one, melanoma. Melanoma is a skin condition, or it's a skin cancer presenting as a dark changing bleeding skin spot, which can be fatal in about 35% of patients diagnosed with this disease. All right, let's talk about body system number 11, the reproductive system. The reproductive system is a combination of bodily organs and tissues used in the process of producing offspring. Diseases of the reproductive system. So let's take a look at cervical cancer. It results in a malignant tumor of the cervix. So again, remember when we're talking malignancy, we're talking cancerous. Prostate cancer. This is a type of cancer that occurs in men. It's in a small sized gland that produces seminal fluid. And then let's talk about vaginal yeast infection. It's merely an infection caused by yeast or fungus in the vagina. All right, diseases of the reproductive system continue. Here's another one, endometriosis. It's a condition where tissue that normally lines the uterus ends up outside the uterus. Here's another one, gonorrhea. It's a sexually transmitted bacterial infection that may cause infertility if left untreated. Here's another one, erectile dysfunction. This occurs when a man can't keep or get an erection during sexual intercourse. And these are all examples of diseases or conditions or disorders of the reproductive system. All right, last but not least, body system number 12, the digestive system. The digestive system breaks down food, it extracts nutrients into bloodstream, and it excretes waste. This system is made up of the digestive tract, the liver, pancreas, and the gallbladder. Here's some examples of diseases of the digestive system. Irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, is an intestinal disorder causing pain in the stomach, gas, diarrhea, and constipation. Diverticulitis is an inflammation of one or more small pouches in the digestive tract. All right, gastroesophageal reflux disease, which is also known as GERD. It's a condition in which the stomach acid irritates the esophagus. And last but not least, Crohn's disease. This is a chronic inflammatory bowel disease that affects the lining of the digestive tract. Okay. So this is a list of all 12 body systems, and I provided you with some different examples of the diseases and conditions of these body systems. Here's some coding tips. Here's some tips related to how to learn medical terms. When you evaluate a medical term, begin at the end of the word with the suffix. Learn the individual parts of the medical term instead of trying to learn the individual word. Most every medical term has a suffix. Remember that the word root gives the fundamental meaning of the word. The combining vowel doesn't have a meaning, but it's used to connect one or more word roots to a suffix. A prefix is in the front, a suffix is in the end, and a combining vowel is always in the middle. Having a good understanding of basic medical terminology helps you to understand doctor's notes, so progress reports, e-records, lab reports, and then you'll better be able to assign correct codes to the patient office visit. All right. Thank you for joining me on my lecture about medical terms.